Greetings, I'm Kathy Green with Christian News and Interviews. I'm sure that you've heard by now that Alex Baldwin had a terrible situation occur recently where an inexperienced armorer was on set and listen to this. Filming was briefly halted on the set of 24-year-old armorer Halyna Hutchins' last movie after she allegedly gave a gun to an 11-year-old without checking it properly. There were previous concerns raised about the 24-year-old armorer, who was hired on Alec Baldwin's film Rust, with two production sources telling the Daily Beast that filming on the set of her last movie was briefly stopped after she allegedly gave a gun to an 11-year-old actress without checking it properly. She was a bit careless with the guns, waving it around every now and again, said a source who worked alongside armorer Halyna Hutchins on the upcoming Nicolas Cage film, The Old Way. There were a couple times she was looking the blanks and doing it in a fashion that we thought was unsafe. Okay, long story short, this young lady that was hired had no business in that position. Her father had been a very successful armorer, and apparently she got the position based on the fact that her father was who he was. You know how that goes. And so she's this young, immature girl who was on TikTok and a whole lot of other things, acting silly. She's since taken down all of her social media posts because when people look at it, they realize just how immature this girl was. I mean, just silly. And she had this very important position. Well, it was a tragedy. And unfortunately, Alex Baldwin ended up shooting someone and killing the person. So no matter whether you like him or not, that was a tragedy. And it's not something to joke about. It's not something to mock, because there's a grieving family that has to deal, excuse me, with the fact they've lost their loved one. And I'm sure that Alex Baldwin will have nightmares for the rest of his life. It is against that backdrop that I share with you Donald Trump Jr., who seems to think this is a big joke. Let me remind everyone that this is the same Donald Trump Jr. who walked out on 5 young children and an absolutely beautiful wife to hook up with the floozy. What man walks out on 5 young children to go hook up with his mistress? I'll tell you what kind of man does it. It's the same type of a man whose character is so low and so debased that he would make a joke over someone being killed. Listen to this. It's only been 3 days since Alec Baldwin accidentally shot and killed 42-year-old cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, but the Trump family has never been known to hang around when there's a tawdry buck to make. The oldest Trump son, Donald Jr., is hawking $27.99 t-shirts on his official site with a mocking slogan, "Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people." Now, anyone who thinks that's funny is about as sociopathic as this dude is. I mean, that is sick. That is so incredibly, it is beyond bad taste. I mean, that goes into the realm of sick. A dark, wicked, evil mind will come up with something this low. Woo. I'll stop there because there's really nothing more I can say.